I walked in on the first day of Flourish, or of the Women's Bible Study, and one person came up to me, greeted me, and that person ended up being a very good friend of mine to this day.
I had spent hours upon hours reading medical textbooks. I'd spent hardly any time reading the Bible, and I had spent a little time thinking about God and no time thinking about Jesus. And so coming into the Women's Bible Study, it made me realize that I just needed to reprioritize how I was spending my time and how I was thinking about education. It was a structured, solid, concrete way to obtain knowledge in an area that I was lacking.
When the academy came along, I felt like that would be a good thing to do because the way it was described was it was more of an academic environment. Not to downplay the spiritual part of it, but I was wanting to learn about the Bible, and I wanted to do it in an academic structure, right, where there were actual lectures and there were reading assignments and you were learning with people and those kinds of things.
One thing that I loved about it that I have to talk about was my table. We developed such a beautiful sense of community. I knew one of the ladies already, but for the most part, we did not really know each other, and God just knit us together in such a beautiful way.
I'd never done like a large-scale Bible study ever before. I'd done it more in small groups, so when this idea came about, it definitely spoke to me.
But it was learning about the characters of the Bible that are real, and it was relevant. The Bible's so relational, and being able to relate with those characters and see God's chasing after us, His constant rescuing of us, and just the linear path we're on, it just made me understand God's love for us more than I did before.
This held us more accountable. We had studies that we needed to be prepared for on Wednesdays, and because of that, you could tell the more and more that you were in the scriptures, the more your relationship with God would grow.
And I'd say it's just a really a good way to be involved with a group study if you're curious about all of the events, the covenants that occurred through the Old Testament, which may be confusing or hard to draw back to the New Testament. It was very insightful, and would definitely recommend it and do it again.
Just do it. It's worth it. It's just a really great way to get a firm understanding of God's story from beginning to end in His Word, and understanding how Jesus is just the center of it.